Guys, I got to say this right now. Reality is often disappointing. The first Lowe's tower no longer has an FH308 and now has a white only LED that it got back in 2014. And for years I thought that it was just stuck on night mode. The third Lowe's tower was just randomly bit the dust somewhere around January 2017. I remember me and my sister we just got picked up from school, and we were heading to Steak and Shake, which is just down there because of a happy hour. We're going to get some sodas since happy hour down at Steak and Shake is not just for shakes. Um, so we're getting that stuff. I noticed a crane. I was just like, what is that? And then I noticed I was actually lifting the pieces off the tower and taking it down. I was just like, I was just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. No, you're not doing this. No. Yeah, it sucked. It was just, yeah, it sucked. And I'm pretty sure that same day, we accidentally ran over one of my old cat's legs, which after like a few days, like 2 or 3 days after that, she actually just died, sadly. But she was suffering, so it was great that it was great that she didn't have to suffer anymore. But I think maybe that happened all in the same day, but I don't really think it did. But it's those two things happened around the same period, around the same time period. And even a Google Maps car actually came through here and actually captured the death of the third Lowe's tower. I can't show you because I can't access the street view. I can't change street views on here unless if I'm on an older street or newer street. Um, yeah. So I tried to look for my car, which back then it was a black car with it had stickers on it. It was crap. I forgot what it was, but it was black. And then we got that small radio tower down there that has markers. It used to work. I remember I would always see it, but now they're dead. It's dead. It's just it's two markers, but it's technically one thing. And now we got another problem. One of the most iconic towers to me, its beacon is still not working. It hasn't worked in a long time now. It stopped working somewhere around like 4 weeks ago, or maybe 4.5. I don't know, but I remember it stopped working during one very snowy week where we had a lot of snow days and stuff. So yeah, it snowed heavily on that week when the beacon on here died. I thought it was just knocked out by the snow and stuff, but it's actually still not working. Hasn't worked for like, I think 4 weeks or a half. I haven't I lost count, so I'm not too sure, but it hasn't worked at all. It's still dead. I you know I'm still I'm I was supposed to film this at day and night, I was supposed to film this day, dusk, and night. I was supposed to film it somewhere around over here because this here's a kind of nostalgic place. I remember um my mom really loves Panera Bread, and back when I was younger, we would usually go to Panera Bread sometimes, like at least once every 2 weeks or something like that. But it was very often we would go down there and get something for my mom. And yeah, I don't like bread. I don't like certain breads, like bread by itself and stuff. And I don't really like soup either, unless if it's ramen. Then yeah, I love it. I remember this tower would be on day mode, and then when we would walk out, it would just be like dust. The sky will still be a little blue, and this will be on night mode. Well, I really wish I really want to film it at day, dusk, and night right over here in this parking lot because so I can capture the nostalgia that I have for this tower in its true form, where I would always see it. And sometimes I'll even walk out. We would even leave when it's dark, and this would be completely the tower will be completely dark, and the only thing that would actually show that's there is the beacon flashing. Yeah, I should have asked my dad to drive me there before its FH308 just randomly decided to crap out on the tower, and still nobody has fixed it. I even had a dream where I was in this tall building and doing something else, but this tower was in the dream, and I looked out the window and it looked like it was flashing like an LED. Well, actually it was, but at the time I didn't in the dream I wasn't too sure if it was an LED or if it was just FH308 on night mode and it was working again. But in a dream, I kept on doubting that it's the FH308. I kept on telling myself that it was just an LED because that moment there, it was actually pretty bright. It was like what usually it's like the same brightness as it is like around 7 o'clock. So 7 a.m. It will be it's somewhere around there, and usually around 7 a.m. this tower would usually be on day mode, like most towers, most. Yeah, I'm talking to you, highway patrol tower. That always go to day, well, that always go to night mode very late. Well, I mean very early, and go to day mode very late. Yeah. So yeah. So in the dream, I was just like, but it's too bright for it to still be on night mode. And the night mode itself, if that is night mode, then it's very very bright and it's not supposed to be that bright. So I kept on doubting myself. I was just like, it's probably an LED. Man, well, good. It was a good thing that it was just a dream. But that was the only, you know, that was really the only time I got to see it flash during this entire dead period. But sadly, it wasn't real because it was a dream. You know, I really regret not filming this earlier this year. I should have. I wish I could just sweet talk my dad into driving here 3 times. I say 3 times to film this at day, dusk, and night. But I never did. I guess I didn't have the. I guess I didn't. I didn't have the will to do it. You see, I didn't have the balls to actually tell my dad to do that because usually he doesn't like doing that stuff. So yeah, but something like this happened once before. I remember I was in Springfield back in May 2020. It was dark. I was filming some towers on night mode for YouTube, and the second Walmart tower, aka that one monopole that used to have the FH 306, was on night mode. Even though I didn't see it, it was still dark. I already know it was on night mode and stuff. It's normal for the tower. Well, you know, I think of it. I was just like, I really should film that tower. And then I was just like, what if I do? What if I tell him? What if I tell Dad to go all the way out there so I can film it? But I was just like, you know what? Never mind. I can do it another time. Yeah, that's something that I would come to regret because the next time I will ever have a chance to film it at night, it got replaced the FH306 got replaced by a modern LED with flashing side markers. And the worst part about it was before the vacation and stuff, before I found out about the LED on the tower, I was so excited because the hotel is literally facing the tower, so I got a perfect chance to film it at day and night. I was just like, oh, I can't wait for this. And then we went to the mall down at Springfield once we got there, and the building, a building was I seen well actually I seen a little I seen the flash on the tower, and it looked like an LED flash, And before that, I even joked around with myself saying, "What if it had an LED? I would destroy this entire world." Then I looked at it and I seen what looked like an LED flash, and I was just like, wait, no, you're not telling me that joke's actually real. Well, a building blocked the top of it, or I mean the entire thing. But once we got farther away from the building, the tower rose again, and then that's when it was revealed to me that it had an LED. Yeah, it was sad. I was just like, oh my god, why? Why did you do this, FA? Why? Why? I was just it was kind of one of those times where I was just like, I don't know if they if they did this on purpose or if they had no choice, because if they had no choice then I wouldn't be that mad and stuff. And yeah, I had one of those moments. And then yeah, that was during the making of the day mode clip, when it had an LED. And then when I seen it on night mode and realized it had flashing side markers, I realized that since FA is now full of bull crap and all that crap, the tower is now going to have flashing side markers for probably the rest of its life. And having that and realizing having that realization is just hard. I just always known the tower for not shining not actually flashing red. It was kind of pinkish red, but back when I was little, I always thought it was kind of orangish for some reason when it would go to night mode. But I remember the markers being stationary and stuff. I remember, like, I'll be like, that blinking light is not fully red. It looks orange, and then the markers are just fully red. I'm just like, oh no, that's very weird. And yeah, and I'll never see that again. So yeah, that's the time where I regret. That's a time that I regretted not filming a tower on night mode. And this tower here, I regret not filming this tower either, because I'm going to say this right now. It has there's a big chance it'll actually get an LED. And knowing that right now, I heard of a lot of towers that used to have white single strobes that were replaced with white and red LEDs. I seen it happen. I seen No, I haven't seen it happen in real life, but I heard of some towers that where that happened. And I don't want them. And my area has been pretty lucky when it comes to those certain towers, because usually all the towers I know of that used to have FH08s and whatever other single strobes there are out there were replaced with white only LEDs, and that's something good. And yeah, it's just lucky. I didn't know how rare they were. I'm lucky that there's a lot of them in my area, but at the cost of it, what's it cost? All of those memorable, well, at least one of the there's a very memorable tower down at St. Roberts. Right when you get into St. Roberts, it used to have it used to have an FH08, and now it has a now it has a white only LED. I believe it's a white only crappy LED, because how flat it looks, and because the way it flashes at night. Basically, the day mode and night mode are basically the same, just the night mode's a little dimmer. And it's the first Lowe's tower has that. On day mode, it flashes like a normal LED. And then at night mode, it still flashes like a normal LED, but just a little dimmer. Thunderbolt. And basically, every single tower that got a white LED is like that. I don't know any other exceptions where they got like a white only LED that has a slower night mode flash. I don't know any. So yeah, they're probably all white only crappy LEDs. So if this tower has to have an LED, I really hope it's a white only crappy LED. The day mode may not be the same, but the night mode will be the same like it always was. I do have a clip of this at on night. I have not uploaded it to YouTube yet, because I want to include that in hopefully a future tower video where I get to film this at day, dusk, and night if I ever get the chance. So yeah. But if not, then I'll just upload that clip to YouTube and just be like, well, guys, this was the last time I ever got to record this tower when it had its strobe. So yeah, that clip I think it was made somewhere around the middle of December. I don't really know, but I could give you a little sneak peek. On night mode. There it is. Yes. I don't have any nickname for this tower. That's just a quick little. That's just a quick little sneak peek. You know, um, you know, me me and Motor 2K. Well, I mean Rolla and Dallas, I think, or maybe Fort Worth. I'm not too. I'm not. I don't remember, but either one. I mean Rolla and and Fort Worth, I believe. The only tower they both Rolla and Fort Worth or either Dallas, I forgot which one. They only have one tower with an FH308. This one in Rolla, the one in Rolla is this one here, and it's currently not working. The one in Fort Worth or either Dallas, I don't remember. It's a a semi long lines tower with two sets of FH308s, but it only has like two, one on top and one in the middle, but the one in the middle doesn't work. And yeah, basically both of them are in risk. This one here, its FH308's not working, so it's in risk of getting replaced by an LED. And then the one in Fort Worth or Dallas, I think it may just be Fort Worth, I think. Um, yeah, Motor 2K just keeps on telling me that it's in risk of getting replaced just because FAA, the beacon has no problem, I heard of. It also has markers on it. The reason why is because it used to have an incandescent beacon or maybe two sets of incandescent beacons. I don't remember, but it had two sets of markers. Well, I mean, it still does. And one day, Motor 2K actually told me that he seen the tower. It was on the FH308 was on night mode, and the two sets of markers were actually working. Yeah, he was very, very surprised that the markers were still working. I was very surprised as well. I thought that towers that got their incandescent beacons replaced with strobes. I thought the markers were cut off and just left to rot on the tower. I didn't know they still worked. So if this tower still has if this tower used to have like an incandescent beacon, I think it used to because this here is it was built in 1987. If it has some sort of leftover markers on it, I hope one day they can just randomly come on for some reason. That would be very nice to see. So yeah, but it'll probably never happen because I can't find any sign of markers anywhere on this tower. I can't find any markers whatsoever. So maybe they were removed, or maybe this tower's original beacon was a different single strobe. Because FH308 beacons, I don't think they were around in the 80s. I think they may have came from the 90s. I'm not too sure. So maybe this used to have an FH300 or 301. What, 300 or 301? I don't know which one, but I really hope that this didn't actually used to have an incandescent beacon because all my life I always thought that the original beacon to this tower was in the FH308 or just aka a white beacon. And finding out that I had an incandescent beacon in the past will probably kind of it will ruin my belief, and I don't want that to happen. So the good news is I can't find any markers. So maybe there's a chance that this used to just have some sort of different single strobe. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully they fix the beacon, but right now the future of the beacon is looking bad. the tower still sits in the dark. Bye.